Hello everyone, nice to have a chance to speak with you for a few minutes. Today is Friday, May 21st. As I mentioned at Mass last weekend, the Archdiocese had an online meeting with the pastors to convey to us some new directives for the celebration of the Sacred Liturgy in light of the new directives from the Center for Disease Control and new government guidance too. So as I mentioned, as of May 13th, as I mentioned at Mass, as of May 13th, masks are not necessary in church for those who are fully vaccinated. Masks, we still ask those who are not fully vaccinated to wear masks in church. And also the children, of course, they're not vaccinated, so the children should still be masked in church, except those under 2 years of age. And then as of May 31st, some new directives will go into force in celebration of Mass at our church. So in many ways, we're going back to our pre-pandemic celebration of the Sacred Liturgy after May 31st. A couple of exceptions. The sign of peace, the Archdiocese has asked us not to ask people to convey the sign of peace to each other, which is normally done by a handshake. They want to keep that suspended until further notice because some people are still uncomfortable reaching out to those around them for that sign of peace. Also at communion time, the Archdiocese is asking that when we come forward for communion now, if you are in Mass, to lower the mask before you come to receive communion from the priest. And also the priest will not have to be masked now in distributing, or the deacon or liturgical minister in distributing Holy Communion. So other than those exceptions, most things are back to as they were. Holy water has been restored to the fonts. The collection will be taken up as it normally was before the pandemic. Offertory gifts can be brought forward by people. The liturgical ministers will be back exercising their roles, those that want to come back and exercise them at this time. There's no restrictions on singing at Mass or choirs, etc. All that will be back fully. Confessions will be heard as they were prior to the pandemic, either face-to-face or anonymously. And regarding the dispensation from the obligation to attend Mass, that dispensation is still in effect. So we are still dispensed from the obligation to attend Mass on Sundays and holy days of obligation. However, at this point, that dispensation is really meant for those who have some medical issues that might cause them serious harm if they were exposed to the virus, or there's people at home that would also have issues that would cause them harm if they were exposed to the virus if it was brought home somehow. So other than that, most of us are encouraged to come back to church now if you're in good health. When the dispensation is lifted, the Archdiocese will be giving us several weeks to get ready for that. But so as of now, the dispensation from the obligation is still in force, but you are encouraged to come back unless there's health reasons why you should not. So that's the main realities concerning the new directives and the way we'll be celebrating this. That's all after May 31st. So for the next 2 Sundays this weekend of May 23rd and May 30th, we will be celebrating as we have been. But after May 31st, all the requirements for social distancing and sanitizing are lifted. So we'll be opening up all the pews. We will still have some sanitizing dispensers available at church, but a lot of the wiping down of the pews between Masses, etc., will no longer be needed. I also wanted to thank all those who participated in our May procession on May 18th. It was a beautiful little service, a beautiful night, beautiful out in the Mary Garden for the crowning of the statue, and a real sign of devotion to Mary. And I'm sure Mary will pour forth many blessings upon us for our devotion to her. Special thanks to the 8th graders who were present that night. We prayed especially for them that night and continue to pray for them as they prepare to go off to high school and begin a new phase in their lives. And special thanks to Grace Stead, who carried out the crown that we used on the statue of Mary. This Sunday is Pentecost Sunday, which is one of the great celebrations in the church year. We celebrate the outpouring of the Spirit upon the apostles and the many people who came to believe that day through the preaching of the apostles. So we pray that the Spirit will continue to be poured into our lives, that will open our hearts to receive that Spirit so that we too can be proclaimers of the gospel by the way we live, by the wisdom with which we live, that we can live our faith with courage and with great devotion so that we can attract people to Christ and to the church and continue to spread the good news of God's love for all of us. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Enjoy the Memorial Day weekend next weekend as we remember those who gave their lives for our freedom. God bless you all.